We're in Germany. We've got ourselves set up for the night. My influence on Jess has started to wear off already, and I'm quite pleased about it. If you notice one thing, she's sitting reading a book with a cup of tea, but the book was £3. That was my doing. And then we're not on a campsite. We are, what was it called?
Park for Night.
Park for Night is an app you can get for travellers and tinkers, and it gives you locations of safe spaces you can park. So we're actually in a car park. And as you can see, you've got all these vans here full of psychopaths and murderers, rapists, immigrants that are all just parked up for the night for free. We are in Bavaria, so I've returned to the place of my birth. Not a lot of people know I was actually born in Munich, in Germany. And we are in, forgotten it again. Würzburg? No. We just can't remember the names of anywhere. We're in, oh fuck's sake. Edit. We're in Würzburg, a city in Bavaria. The population is about 120,000 people, and in the 1930s it was home to about 2,000 Jews in the early 30s. And when Hitler came to power, the Jews were forced out, their synagogues were burned, demolished to the ground, their stores were ransacked, all their items were stolen. And then in 1945, on March 19th, 90% of the city was destroyed in 17 minutes when 225 Lancaster bombers from the Royal Air Force attacked the city. And over the next 20 years, the city was built back to how it used to look, painstakingly, brick by brick, by almost exclusively female workers. And the reason they were female is all the men were prisoners of war or they were dead. There was no one else left to do it. So this city was painstakingly reconstructed to look how it had before the bombings. So there's a medieval centre that was completely destroyed in the bombing raid, and like I say, 90% of the city was destroyed, and 5,000 people were killed. So we're going to go around tonight and we're going to have a look, and we're going to see how the city looks just now, and we're going to see if it would have looked any different before the war and before the bombings. We've been walking from our campsite for about 5 or 6 minutes. It's just down behind those trees. And we're coming over the bridge into the medieval town centre, which isn't really medieval because, as we know already, it was all rebuilt after the war. But we're walking over the bridge. Jess is getting pictures for, I presume, Instagram on her fancy camera. It's because of having that camera that she can only afford £3 books, and we don't have money for campsites anymore, so we're parked up with a bunch of hillbillies. But we're going to keep walking and we're going to see what we can see. Jess has just found out she didn't have a card on the camera. How long have you been taking pictures on that?
Just now.
We're just walking, discussing what a pair of complete idiots we look. Because I've got the GoPro and Jess has got her camera around her neck, but it serves her in good stead because we just bumped into this as we're walking down the stairs. It looks very old. You would imagine it to be medieval. Look, getting ready for the gram. You would imagine it to be very old. I'm doing a monologue here. I'm trying to be professional. You would imagine this was really medieval, but because I spent a minute and a half on Wikipedia and rattled off some facts before, this must have been rebuilt after the Second World War to look how it did before. And we have this. This wasn't me. I would have done it in black. But yeah, it looks very impressive. So this is the bridge that Google Maps was trying to get us to walk across in the first place, and I thought it'd be a road bridge, but it turns out this bridge pretty much seems to be just to come and drink on. Google knows me too well. Walk over the drinking bridge, Daniel. That's what we want you to do. It's the same as anywhere else in the world. We were trying to find some culture and some history. So we've got McDonald's just behind us, and then we've got TK Maxx next to a cathedral in this building here. Jess is the organised one. We walked past the supermarket and she's like, oh, she get bread for breakfast tomorrow. So we're in Germany, but Jess thinks she's in France because she's got la baguette. It was still warm when we got it. So I think that means it's just been baked instead of it's been lying there in the sun in the window all day. We'll see when we get back. Spillage. Jess started to walk up to the base of the cathedral or the church, and I was like, oh, she's excited about it, but it turns out there's actually a jeweller's here. So she came to look at the jewellers instead. We're trying to work out what's going on. There's 2 ambulances and 1, 2, 3, 4 fire engines that we can see. There was a guy running about a minute ago with an axe, like a fireman, not a crazy man. Stretcher's coming back already, so I'm guessing nothing happened. False alarm?
That's good.
I'm not trying to make fun of the situation, but as a native English speaker, having an ambulance with the word die on it is pretty funny. So we've got this ambulance down here. Police car, ambulance, this goes on. Well, tram lines, I don't like trams. They sneak up behind you, they're too quiet. I'm being ignored already. So what did you think of Würzburg?
It's very beautiful. And they have nice beer.
They do have nice beer. I'm quite impressed by this. I like the glass. Yeah, it is a really nice town to walk around, and it's nice to see that regardless of a potential dark past, it is quite welcoming and quite friendly, and it shows no matter how bad things are at a point in history, they can always get better. Cheers!